Having our three sisters here on campus represents the heart of the school. It's a reminder of why we're here and who we are. They empower and inspire our students to follow their passions.
The sisters are always so funny and kind, and a conversation with them never disappoints.
When I first started at Holy Names, Sister Carol was the first person to invite me to unofficial lunch club in the faculty dining room to make sure that I felt welcomed and at home right away. She's also the person who also officially welcomes all our new faculty and staff by giving them the all-important tour of our building so they can start to find their way around and make sure they know where their supplies are and where they can find everything. To me, Sister Carol is the best example of the SNJM value of radical hospitality.
I was born in Deming, New Mexico, a small town in the southern part of New Mexico, 30 miles from the Mexican border. I had a younger sister, and when I was 4, I think, we moved in with my grandparents because my dad went overseas, and my sister and I were very close, and we had a wonderful childhood.
Sister Dianne Nixon was the Dean of Students when I was a student at Holy Names and also the chemistry teacher. And I had her for chemistry. We learned lots and lots in chemistry, such that when I went to school at Cal State East Bay and had to take chemistry as one of my science classes, they ran out of the textbook for that quarter, and they didn't come in until about halfway through, and I used my notes from Sister Diane's class in chemistry and my high school chemistry book, and ended up never having to even buy the book in college because the class is so comprehensive that I had in high school that most of the important concepts she had already taught us.
I was born in Providence Hospital in Oakland, California. I was the oldest of 5 siblings. We had a great time growing up. We loved to ride our bikes in the neighborhood. We had a neighborhood where kids could be outside doing what they wanted to do especially on a Saturday morning. From early in the morning till maybe 5 o'clock, we could be riding our bikes all over the hills here in Oakland.
One thing I really appreciate about the sisters is their commitment to art and music, as well as their sense of humor. I was at a rehearsal with Sister Noel one time, and we had finished, and I asked her how it went, and she said, "I'm just sick and tired of looking at all these damn dots."
I was born in San Francisco, California at St. Mary's Hospital in 1932 in the middle of a snowstorm, the first one in San Francisco. My childhood was really a happy one. I was in San Francisco with my parents, of course, and my grandparents. I had, the first thing I remember, I was about 2, I think, when my first pet arrived, who was Gretchen, and she was a little tiny dachshund. I also had, not all at the same time, but I had a rabbit. There was a monkey that used to come and visit every summer. I think he was a summer. And I loved to see him coming because he always was dressed up in something different. I had a horse named Dandy, just Dandy. I rode him every Saturday in the drill team at the Oakland Riding Academy.
I love listening to the sister stories. All their high school stories are so fun to listen to.
During my freshman year in high school, I started going to Mass every day. And to this day, I do not know why. It was just one of those things that seemed important, and so I did. So my grandmother, who had gone to a convent boarding school, began to wonder about that, and she asked the parents of my mother's cousin if they would consider sending me to boarding school, and they said they'd love to. My mother came to me one day and said, "The Dolans have offered you the opportunity to go to Ramona. I'm very close to my family." And this meant going from New Mexico to California. Actually, this decision to go to school was one of the biggest decisions I think I've ever made.
Holy Names High School was a great experience for me. I had tons of fun, made lots of friends, and was involved in a lot of activities. All 4 years I was involved with STUCO, Student Council, and I was in the orchestra, played the French horn, and so we were involved in all the rehearsals for musicals. We had dinner parties before we had rehearsals, so just lots of great things. Poster parties at our house before elections. I was also involved in the athletic activities. I was part of the volleyball team every year, also basketball my sophomore year.
My high school years were loads of fun because I was here at Holy Names High School. I was in the orchestra and plays, and we did concerts. We did a concert hall. Not when I was here though, that was when I was teaching here. I was an athlete all during high school. I played softball, volleyball, basketball, tennis, bowling. I think that's about everything that we had at that time.
I found this wonderful dress, pretty white dress, and my cousin Joe, who was 4 years older than I, agreed to take me to the prom. Partly because, being at an all-girls school, you didn't meet too many guys, and I wanted to go with somebody that was significant, and Joe and I were good friends.
For the senior ball, we had to introduce our dates to the sisters who were in one of the large rooms inside Holy Names High School. And I was a little bit nervous because my dress had spaghetti straps, and I knew the sisters would say, I couldn't go to the prom if I had spaghetti straps. So my mom got a lovely piece of fabric and made a beautiful, like a stole around my shoulders. So I had that on when I went in to see the sisters and introduced my date to them.
I love that the sisters support all Holy Name students by coming to our events.
The women who are part of this community are just amazing. They're prayerful, they're really dedicated to what they're doing and coming up with new things all the time in terms of people's needs. They're fun, they're creative, they're just amazing women. And in all of the situations where I've lived, I lived in great big houses like Ramona when I taught there, and Holy Names High School when I taught here. When we had 30 or 40, or at the university, I think we were 60 sisters. So getting to know all these wonderful women and following their good example when we were young sisters and learning from them. They were our teachers. When we entered at Los Gatos, we had sisters, except for a couple of theology classes when we had priests. And then when we went to the college, it was almost all of our teachers, except for just a few, were sisters. So that was a marvelous experience.
I went to the Holy Name Sisters from kindergarten through high school. And during that time, we just really had wonderful sisters who played with us, went to our sports games. They encouraged us in the musicals here at the high school. They participated in working with us, listened to us after school, before school, and really were very supportive and fun. They were fun. We had really fun teachers. So I thought to myself, it's really, that won't be too bad. And I had an inkling, probably when I was a junior in high school. But I went to a movie with one of the guys I was going out with, and during that movie, I just got the strongest call that God said, Diane, you've got to go to Los Gatos this coming summer. And to myself, I shook my head and I thought, here I am in a movie. This is a funny place to get a strong call to enter the sisters.
I originally wanted to be a veterinarian, and I had that all settled. And then I got to thinking about the life of the sisters, because they always seemed to be happy. And we had great teachers, and they were interested in who we were, and they would join in with us. They were always in our activities. And so more and more I got thinking about religious life. And it's almost like marriage. You don't know exactly whether you want to get married or you don't want to get married. Maybe that's very clear. But it's the same with religious life. I think you think you're drawn to something that is deeper in yourself than just something that's exterior. You're looking for something that's deeper. That's the only way I can describe it. And I was 18 when I entered.
I love having the Holy Name Sisters around. They're so helpful, and it's so generous of them to volunteer their time for the Holy Name students.
All of the sisters' charitable actions really help to promote student growth and success.
I do strongly hope and believe that the charism of the Sisters of the Holy Names of Jesus and Mary will continue into the future. We really strongly affirm the full development of each person, and I have seen that happen in students that I have taught, students that are presently here at Holy Names, and hopefully into the future.
But people want to know whether religious life is going to survive, I think. And I feel yes. We won't be as many. We might be with other communities. And I think the SNJM charism is really strong.
I'm thrilled to be a member of the Sisters of the Holy Names because I sincerely feel that that's where God is calling me, and I'm very pleased to be here. There is something so profound about Mother Rosa's charism and how we have been with people and how I see us continuing. We might be small, but we will be mighty.
The sisters are so amazing. Their devotion to this school inspires students to become women of faith and integrity.
I think the sisters are a wonderful asset to Holy Names High School because of the warmth and historical knowledge and expertise they bring to everyone and everything here.
The Blessed Marie Rose Durocher Award is Holy Names High School's highest honor and a testament to outstanding leadership and service. It is only presented when such an outstanding candidate is to be recognized. We are blessed and honored to present the 2019 Durocher Award to Sister Noel Girard, Sister Carol Nicklas, and Sister Dianne Nixon. As recipients of this distinguished award, we present each of you with your own auditorium plaque.